All I wanna do is heal. Oh, all I want, all I want is to heal. Oh yeah. Come on in the building. All I want, it's Sunday, so you about to get hit upside the head with it. So you might well come on, put the phone down somewhere, and let's get right into it, all right? Come on in the building. Don't need you to type, I'm here in the chat. I'm here, I'm present. I'm present, I'm here. I come for the healing that I'm seeking. I come for it. I'm here. I'm here. I'm present. Come on, somebody, come on. All I want. All I want is to heal. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. All I want, all I want is to heal. Oh yeah. All I want, all I want is to heal. Oh yeah. Yo, good people. It is your homie HerbMan busting you back upside the head with another hot banger. Boogie, please go tell somebody to go tell somebody your homie HerbMan is on. Yes, sir. And if you're new to the program, welcome. Please follow, like, share, and subscribe on all the platforms at Love HerbMan. All right. So we're coming live on TikTok, live on YouTube. I am your neighborhood holistic practitioner. I'm your homie HerbMan. And on the HerbMan Show, we teach people how to heal themselves. But you cannot heal yourself unless you know thyself. So we teach you here. We make it a pertinent thing to teach you about the human frame and the human design so that you guys can be well on your way to the happiness, the wholeness, and the wellness that we all deserve. Okay. And this is a free information station. You guys don't have to pay for anything that you hear here today. All you simply got to do is pay attention. And how we do that on the HerbMan Show is by double tapping and getting interactive, sharing, following the live. Let's try to get this thing up to 100,000 likes during the live broadcast. I'll work for those likes to make sure that we can be able to expand this message to the world. All right. So with that being said, everybody's already eager to start. I can already tell because we're already where we need to be to start. And today I want to talk to you about the biology of belief, the biology of meaning in your life, what that does to you biologically, why it is one of the most vulnerable things that you have in your life. It is one of also the most attacked thing. It's one of the most prevalent things that you have that other people want to be able to attack, not in a necessarily a negative way, but just to influence you. Your belief systems carry you through this paradigm. Your belief systems is the umbrella under which all the other systems are covered under. Okay. Every system that a human lives in is under the belief system. Whether you're talking about economics, whether you're talking about politics, whether you're talking about your health care, whether you're talking about education, whether you're talking about culture, all these systems, all of them sits beneath the umbrella of what you believe in, okay? Okay, so understanding that is what influences you then you got to understand why that's under attack in you. And belief is not just a theological or philosophical thing. We're going to teach you today why this thing is biological as well, okay? You guys keep tapping. I'm going to keep on talking, okay? And what you got to understand is where your belief go, you go, okay? Where your belief go, you go, and you got to understand how this quietly is sitting in the back, shaping every aspect of the human life. Every aspect of your life is your belief, okay? Because belief is going to determine what you value. It's going to determine what you pursue. It's going to determine what you fear. It's going to determine what you build in life. It's going to determine how you organize society and your communities and just your household, all this type of stuff is surrounded by belief. Okay. And most people think about systems and they don't think that it's about belief. You think systems create belief, where in reality, belief creates the systems. Okay. In reality, belief creates the system. Somebody put that in the chat. Your belief creates the systems. Okay. Your belief creates the system. Okay. Your belief creates the system. And so when you understand all of these different aspects of life, religion begins with belief. Economics begin with what you believe in. Okay. Money itself exists because we collectively believe in its value. If you didn't believe in it, it wouldn't be valuable. And the same is true for all nations of the world. All the laws, all the institutions that are created is because you believe in that governance. You believe in that type of education. You believe in that type of healthcare. You're believing in these things. And you got to understand that belief ain't just about shaping society, but it's also about shaping your nervous system, okay? Belief is about shaping your nervous system, because remember, these wants, needs, and desires come out of your what? These wants, needs, and desires. This is the lower self, but it comes out of your belief. You believe that you need that. You believe that you want that. You believe that you desire that. You got to have it. You believe that. Then this is a part of the burnout. Belief ain't about a thought. Belief, it becomes embedded. It's a part of your programming. Okay. Belief is a part of your programming. It becomes embedded in your neural pathways. Your programming is embedded in your brain, in your neural pathways. The meaning, your purpose in life, what you believe in is embedded in your neural pathways. Somebody said we glitching. Let's go ahead and fix that real quick. All right, put some ones in the chat if we still rocking and rolling. Put some ones in the chat if y'all can still feel me, hear me. Put some ones in the chat before we go any further. BK, I appreciate that. BK gonna let me know something. We back in. Thank you very much. Belief is not simply a thought, you guys, okay? Again, it becomes embedded in your brain. The programming is in your neural pathways. Whatever you're believing in, the meaning of life, the purpose of life, it is embedded. It's a programming in your neural pathways. And when people believe something very strongly, it's also going to influence your nervous system. Your nervous system is the central control panel to everything in your body. So then the brain predicts reality through that belief system. Perception, right here at the seventh chakra, perception, right? This is all in the brain. The pineal pituitary, that's the brain. Perception filters information accordingly. Behavior follows what that interpretation is. Remember that we talked about yesterday, your behavior, human behavior comes from the belief. And this is connected to predictive processing in the brain. So not only do you have predictive processing in the brain, but the owner's manual and the foundational blueprint is also helping you understand that predictive processing method through understanding nature itself. And your brain is going to constantly be on point. It's constantly going to be asking you, what do I expect the world to be like? What do I expect from the world? What do I need? What do I want? What do I desire? Those expectations will always for always influence your emotional reactivity to things. It's going to always influence your stress levels, always going to influence your motivation, always going to influence what you pay attention to. Okay. And you got to understand that these meaning systems, they help the brain organize uncertainty. Without them, you'll just feel chaotic all the time. Life feels chaotic all the time. So your brain try to sort this stuff out through what the meaning of life is and what it believes. And that's the point of what I'm really teaching you today, is about those beliefs and that meaning. I think you gotta get a better understanding. That's why we were teaching about knowing thyself. So when you get your owner's manual, you get afforded that opportunity to get that better understanding. If you understand what we've been teaching you guys about astrology, numerology, theology, and biology, those four things together, okay, integrated together, can start to help us understand this purpose, this meaning, help us understand what is our true nature. And can we create that? If you believe in it, you can create it. That's what we're getting to. If you believe that these herbs will work, they'll work for you. If you believe that you can have a utopia here, it'll be a utopia. If you believe that you're in your higher self and that you can create heaven on earth, then guess what? Beliefs create everything. If you believe that you can be healed, you'll start doing, human behavior will start doing the things that it needs to do to create the result. Remember, Mama Nature is very fertile. So if you believe in a thing, you'll talk about it, you'll think about it, you'll feel something about it. And that's going to produce, that's the seed that needs to be produced in order for you to get the result that you're looking for. So yes, human nature, we got to understand how to create this result that you're looking for. You can't just say, I want to be wealthy. You can't just say, I want to be healthy. You can't just say it. You have to create it. It has that belief has to follow, but behind that has to follow human behavior. It's belief and then behavior. Somebody put that in the chat. It's belief and then behavior. Somebody put that in the chat. Belief and then behavior. Belief has to be followed up by behavior. And you look at how we behaving. That's why I tell you, your disease will tell on you. Yeah, this ain't just about you starting it. This has already been taking place in you already. So that's why diseases will tell on you, because what you believe in is going to create a behavior. That behavior is going to create a result. And we're constantly asking questions, okay? Why is humans here? Why am I here? What matters to me, right? What should I pursue in life, right? The owner's manual will help you with all of those questions. The blueprint helps you with all of those questions. See, and this is meaning systems, right? The owner's manual or the blueprint is meaning systems that try to answer these questions for you. They try to provide some kind of direction, okay? The health GPS system, best health assessment on the planet. If you guys are interested in your owner's manual, please DM us and somebody will get you that information. Or you just go to the website, type in owner's manual, type in blueprint. The blueprint comes with the blueprint, the owner's manual, and the material, the herbs all together. Okay, if you just want the owner's manual by itself, just type in owner's manual. But this thing is providing direction. It's providing an ability to help you organize life around the purpose. But you don't know your purpose. We so trapped up in our wants, needs, and desires that we don't really know the purpose behind it. That's why you'll see people getting up doing stuff they don't really want to do. I'm doing what I really want to do. I'm doing what I'm designed to do. And we want to be able to free people up to be able to do what you're designed to do. But it all got to follow what your belief system is. Otherwise, you'll never change your behavior. If you can't change your belief, you'll never change your behavior. And so from a biological perspective, meaning influences the motivation pathways in the brain. Meaning starts to motivate you. When people pursue meaningful goals, then guess what? You feel better, baby. The dopamine system starts to activate, right? The attention starts to sharpen. Persistence starts to increase. Persistence means that's the behavior. I'm gonna change my diet. And diet is under the belief system. If you believe in eating meat, you're gonna go out and eat it. If you believe in veganism, you change your behavior. So meaning is the fuel for sustained effort. So if you guys don't have no meaning, you can't sustain your health. You can't sustain this healthy walk. You can't sustain this heavenly consciousness if it don't got no meaning behind it. And when you're looking at belief being the umbrella, see this spirituality, that's the top one. That's the crown chakra. Well, in other words, spirituality is what? Belief. It's the crown. It's the crown, baby. It's up here. What you believe in is what you gonna wear. It's your behavior. Okay? And when you start to zoom out of this thing, right, we start to get this macroscopic understanding of ourselves, then you'll see that every major human system operates under this system, even you. If this is the crown, everything else about you is operating under spirituality, which is your relationship with nature and what you believe in. And when you're looking at religion, that's a belief about morality. That's a belief about purpose and transcendence. When you're looking at economics, that's a belief about value, about exchange, about ownership. When you're looking at politics, that's a belief about authority and governance. When you're looking at education, that's a belief about what? Knowledge, training, learning. When you look at the healthcare systems or your health systems, period, that's a belief about what causes diseases and how to treat them. These systems shape your behavior day in and day out, and people accept them as their underlying beliefs. But when your beliefs shift, then the systems will eventually change. Now, that ain't just talking about literally, that ain't talking about outside of you, systems will change. When your belief shifts, now we're talking about the body systems changing biologically. So not only can you change outside systems, but you can change inside systems with belief. Okay? With belief. But you got to know what the real thing is to believe in. That's why the owner's manual is the top health assessment on the planet. You got to know what it is. Because when your belief system starts to break, like most of ours have, when belief systems get weakened or they get conflicted, then that's when we start to experience this confusion and this anxiety that starts to now deteriorate the body. Historically, communities all around the planet, you guys have shared relatively unified belief structures. Okay? I mean, you talking about men, I done been to 5 of the 7 continents. So many societies and countries contain the same narratives about success, about morality, about identity, about purpose. They may do it in a different way, or they may call it something different, but it's the same thing. So what my point is that we're all under the same stress because we're all living under what we believe in. And that's okay, because without shared meaning frameworks, individuals may feel disoriented. So we get why. No, I don't mention that, Beatrice, because he ain't gonna give me no money. Okay. But that is a good book though, The Biology of Belief. But I'm not necessarily talking about it in that way, but yes, in that way. Yes, Bruce Lipton. Yeah. Because this because you got to understand that it's taking a toll on you mentally. So when you're talking about epigenetics and all that type of stuff, that's what Bruce Lipton was was kind of going toward was the epigenetics of it all, right? What it's literally doing for you biologically. What it's doing to you biologically. That's why we try to get you to understand how to get out of that rat race, right? That's why I always use the reference of the bat and the rat. If you're in a maze, which one do you think will get out first, the bat or the rat? If you consider this life to be a maze or the matrix, I just like to call it a maze, which one is more equipped to get out of that maze, the bat or the rat? Okay. And once you start to realize that, you'll realize that the rat got the eyes, the physical eyes that you think to get out, but the bat is blind, but has the wings, has the tools necessary to get out of that maze faster and quicker than by just using the physical eyes. So now we understand that it ain't about your physical body and what you see, but wings are going to be these things here, the spirit in you. Right? Your wings is your spiritual consciousness. Your wings is your this belief system. Your wings is going to be your giftings and your talents, right? And so because the eyes can be tricked, the eyes can be fooled, but your spirit is, I remember they always used to say, you can lock me up, but you can't lock up my spirit. So I'm always outside the walls spiritually, mentally. The body is in the walls, but the mind goes outside the walls. So that's the gifting. So you are equipped with this mind that can't be trapped. How do you use your mind? How do you use the power of the mind? That's the biology of belief. Okay? That's the biology of belief. And so what we're trying to get you to understand is that gift. That's a gift. That's your superpower. But you got to know how to use it. Before you talk, your mind thought about something. Before you think, your mind thought about it, right? Before you feel, the mind thought about it. That's why I ask you, out of eating, drinking, thinking, and feeling, which one do you do the most? Out of eating, drinking, thinking, and feeling, which one do you do the most of? Think. You think before you feel, you think before you eat, you think before you drink. Thank you, Duchess. It's thinking. Okay? And so when we have these shared meanings and these shared frameworks, yes, this can manifest a whole lot of stuff like the wars. It can manifest social polarization, so to speak, loss of trust in one another. Okay, existential uncertainty sometimes, which is what we're talking about here. And that nervous system does not like prolonged uncertainty. Remember, we can't be in danger for too long. We can't be under pressure chronically. And so your nervous system is seeking stability and you're not able to give it to it. You're not able to rest the mind. The mind needs to rest. I got to rest the mind. If this is my gift, how can I rest it in order for it to be able to do what it needs to do for me on a daily basis? And so we're taking antibiotics. We're taking pain pills. We're taking different medications that will then start to mess with that neural pathway where you can't even think properly. You just get into robotic mode. And when you get into robotic mode, your body, again, the only stop sign you have in your body is your what? Anybody knows that? The only stop sign that you got in your body is your what? Your mind. And if your mind, if your body is here, let's just illustrate this thing. If your body is over here and your mind is over here, what's stopping you coming down this hill? And if you're on drugs, if you're addicted to stuff, if you're eating the wrong foods, if you're alcoholic or drug addict, if you are a workaholic, a sexaholic, if you are doing anything over here and your mind is disconnected from your body all the time, this has no way of stopping your cravings, stopping your urges, stopping you. It has no way of doing that. And so what we're trying to teach you with this owner's manual and the blueprint is how we're able to link these and sync these things back up. Another analogy would be from your mind to your heart. If your heart is one thing, that represents the body, and your mind represents the spirit. So it's the same thing when we're off kilt. We're not on the same page. It's very hard for you to stop your cravings, your urges, your desires, your wants, your needs. It's very hard to stop this when this ain't on one accord. So how do we get the mind and the body to be back in the oneness? That's what we're talking about. And your owner's manual will help you do that. Okay? Your owner's manual will help you do that. We need community. We heal faster together. And research increasingly suggests that meaning and social connection influences the health. Okay? They influence the health. So people who report strong longevity and strong purpose in life, they often still are connected. And when you still connected, that lowers your stress markers, that presents greater resilience for your body. That's a better mental health outcome. So many folk feel alone. So many folk feel alone. And we don't eat together no more. We don't have the gatherings together no more. We don't worship together no more. But these serve as important regulatory things for you to regulate. They create the synchronization that you need. People share time, people can share rhythm, and people can share attention. And that's what we're doing here today. That's what we're doing here. You're sharing your time with me. I'm sharing my time with you. Hopefully you can feel my rhythm. I can feel your rhythm as the hearts go up on the screen. There's a rhythm, there's a pulsation there. Hopefully you are paying attention because I'm attentive enough to you to be able to bring this message. And although you're sitting across the country, you're sitting somewhere that I'm not there, we are still in the same thing together. We heal faster together. And if we can continue to use these platforms to strengthen our social bonds, because our social bonds are one of the most consistent predictors of well-being. But we don't use these for that. We use this to show you and keep dividing and conquering. But we're going to change that. We're going to change that. They're going to get mad at us. They're going to shut it down in a minute, watch. Even though the brother done made about $10 billion off TikTok, right? They made all that money. They're going to shut you down in a minute when you start to use it for what it really can do for you. Use it for shared gifts. Okay? And so I want to invite everybody that's watching. Thank you guys for the likes. Thank you guys for the tapping. I want to invite everybody. I know we got about 100 people on the live right now. I appreciate you. Let's get us up to 100,000 likes on the live broadcast. We thank you over there at YouTube as well. Okay. I want to invite everybody to consider this thing here. What belief systems do you have in your life that is causing you some of the aches and the pains and the ills of life? You name it. What are some of the belief systems that you have in your life that guide your life that you feel like you need to change because it's created a behavior? It's a belief system, right? You could think about work. You could think about your focus on success, your focus on relationships. Spirituality may be one of them. Health may be one of them. Okay. Nikita said, I'm not enough. Okay. Now, Nikita, at the same time you just said that, I want you to rewrite it back in there and say, I am enough. Okay. Nikita. Now I want you to rewrite it and say, I am enough. Thank you. And the reason why we want to do that is because we want to reverse the psychosis of those things. But I do understand you, right? And the enough part of it is because of the wants, needs, and desires. See, a lot of us don't feel like we're enough because we don't feel like we don't got what we need. We don't got what we want. We don't got what we desire. You see that? And when you don't got what you need, when you don't got what you want, when you don't have what you desire, it can make you feel inadequate. It can make you feel inadequate. You want relationship. You want stability, safety, and security. You desire to be able to be successful and all these things. And here you're still in the lower self with these wants, needs, and desires. So that's why, because you believe in the programming got you feeling inadequate. But if you get your owner's manual, or you get this particular understanding that we're teaching you, and you start to see yourself in the eyes of nature, aka God, then you'll realize that you got so much abundance up here. This is lack down here. This is you got to do it. This is abundance up here. It's already done. But it's going to require your belief. Because right now we believe that we're in the lack based on the programming, based on the systems that we've created. But what if I told you that you're not lacking anything, that you're living in an abundant environment? Mama Nature, very fertile. Nikita, Mama Nature, very fertile. Right now, if you have $5, you can go buy so many seeds and go plant them for this spring. Spring is about to happen in one more week. You can go with $5. You can go buy so many packs of seeds. Plant them in your room. You can plant them if you got an apartment. You can plant them on the patio. You can plant them in your closet. Trust me, I used to grow microgreens in the basement. Okay, you can plant them outside in your yard if you got that. You'll have more food than that $5 could ever buy in the grocery store. But it's about your belief system. Do you believe in that? You see? You see what I'm saying? That same $5, you can't buy nothing but some eggs. But you can go buy you several different types of heirloom seeds. And look, you'll have so much food that you got to give it away. And so that's why I want you guys to reflect on which beliefs were inherited to you, right? Which beliefs have they chosen for you intentionally? Which beliefs have you chosen intentionally? Because when you start to recognize that belief systems help people understand the forces shaping their behavior, then you'll understand that if I see the abundance in this particular paradigm, then you'll see the wasting of time that we've been doing to ourselves. We're wasting time. We're wasting bodily fuel, bodily energy, because you can't see this paradigm for what it is. Because you can't. It's hard to believe that you're in heaven. It's easy to believe that you're in hell. You're seeing death, you're seeing disease, you're seeing divorce. So it's easier to believe in that because that's what you see. But remember, I told you that intelligence, right? Intellect is something that has already happened. But up here, you got to have intuition. That means that you can't see it yet. It ain't happened to you yet, but you can see it with that all-seeing eye. See, that all-seeing eye is representing a 360-degree vantage point of life, which is what we're giving you in your owner's manual. For that little funky, measly $50, you get 7 to 10 pages of looking at yourself from the eagle's eye view, from the God's perspective, from the 360-degree angle, from the all-seeing eye perspective. You'll be able to see yourself like this guy and this guy. You can be able to see, okay, I started in Cancer and now I'm in Pisces. Man, I done traveled this far in life. Man, I done went through all these life lessons in life. If you're in Cancer, that means that you're in that caring phase. If you're in Pisces, you're in that spiritual phase. You got to be able to see where you at. And the owner's manual and the blueprint allows us that ability to do it. You get this diagram with everything that we give you. And as we continue to evolve as human societies, belief systems will continue to evolve as knowledge and experience continues to expand. So when you get this knowledge and you get this experience, you start to expand your consciousness. This is how we break down some of these things we've created from the ignorance or from the dark spaces or from the intellectual time. Now you got to combine it with some intuitive stuff. If you're in Aquarius, that's that innovator in you. Innovation comes in Aquarius. But the human need for meaning will never go away. The human need for meaning will never go away. Okay? Belief systems will always exist as long as human beings are here. Because again, they help organize the human behavior and the social cooperation that is needed in this dynamic. And when we start to understand this thing from the God's perspective, from the nature perspective, we start to ask the right questions. What belief systems am I under that's supporting me flourishing? What belief system that I'm under that's encouraging cooperation and resilience in my community, in my life, in my home? How can we cultivate these societies while remaining open to new knowledge? This is that new knowledge. Remember that this is not just a physiological pursuit. It's a biological and social foundation for human life. We need this. And our systems gotta be powerful. They gotta be just as powerful as the systems that we created from the intellect. The intuitive systems have to be just as powerful or not more powerful than our intellectual systems that we created. And the systems that we created, they may seem like they can overpower us, but beneath them lies something even more powerful. Shared belief in them. Belief creates the meaning. Meaning shapes the behavior. Behavior will build the systems. And understanding how this chain goes and how this chain flows, allows us to better understand ourselves and the societies that we created. So this is not just about the society outside of you, but we're talking about the society of cells within you. They got a behavior too. And what have you done? What do you believe in that's causing the cells to have an autoimmunity? That's causing the cells to be inflamed, cancerous, causing the cells to be sickly, aka sickle. What behavior have you done to cause the cells to not be able to repair your high blood pressure, your high blood sugar? So you don't want to talk about behavior. And the owner's manual is going to show you that you cannot lie your way through to healing. You can lie to a pastor, you can lie to the judge, you can lie to the police, you can lie to your spouse, you can lie to your children, you can lie to your doctor, you can lie to your therapist, your psychologist you be lying to, but you can't lie to nature. Somebody keep tapping, I'm gonna keep talking, you guys. You keep tapping, I'm gonna keep talking, okay? You can't lie, and I don't even need you to talk. That's the thing about it, it don't even require you to speak. Diseases will tell on you. We don't even need for you to diagnose yourself. We don't need for you to give us no prognosis. All this requires is the day you enter the matrix. That's all this requires, the day you enter the matrix, and you can't run from the information. We're going to know if you got a tendency to lie. We're going to know that if you got a tendency of delusion and loneliness. We're going to know if you got a tendency of addictions and attachment issues. We're going to know that you got a tendency for depression and living in the past and grieving. We're going to know that you got a tendency for self-control issues. We're going to know that you got a tendency, okay, for guilt and unforgiveness. We're going to know it without you having to open up your mouth and try to drive the narrative. So you don't got to do that here. You don't got to tell me how good you is, but I be eating good and I be doing this and I be doing that. But diseases will tell on you. It said, but you seem to be, I'm going to always be more deep on Sunday. Sunday is the son's day. We follow the Son of God. You see what I'm saying? I'm going to always come with it on Sunday. If I have my own church, you got to know that. And this is my own church right here on social media. So we're going to always come hard on the Son's Day, right? But the bottom line is the behavior must get seed about, all right? And I know y'all ain't never heard that word seed about because I'm from the country, but the behavior must get seed about. And instead of me having to filter through the lies as a doctor, as a take you through a normal assessment or diagnosis with the owner's manual and with the blueprint, I don't even have to worry about that. Right? I don't have to worry about you telling me that you're doing good, but then you don't know why this is happening, because I can find out through your tendencies what the behavior is and then still be able to give you some reciprocity there as well. So this is a more of a holistic way of being able to say, hey, look, there's no reason for you to have to say anything. Mama knows the car. Mama is the manufacturer of that vehicle called your body. And she knows you, but the thing about it was you didn't know yourself well enough. And you only running into these high blood pressure diseases, divorces and disagreements and all of this stuff is because of that lack of knowledge. And now we want to bring that knowledge back up to par. So you'll see that, man, you know what? I don't need to be so egotistical down here like I'm doing something, like I'm just the ish down here, when I can see that this thing is way bigger than me, right? The sun, no man had any part to do with the sun. No man had any part to do with the ocean. No man had any part to do with the air. No man had any part to do with the earth. So these things should allow you to lower your ego. You lower your ego down here, and then you up your consciousness here so that you can understand that you don't have dominion over this stuff. You are a minion in this stuff. You are just a part of it. You don't run it. So then just be instead of trying to do. We're so busy trying to be God that we don't even know how to sup with him, how to eat with him, how to dine with him, because you're trying to be him instead of trying to be with him. Oh, you're trying so much to be God that you can't recognize how to be with God. Right? That's the crazy thing. And in your doing, you're getting sick. You're running down the body. You're running down the mind. You're running down the spirit. You're running down your emotions. And you can't run this race too far, too long under that burnout. And so we reestablishing the purpose so that you can stay mentally and emotionally and physically and spiritually healthy. We want to reestablish the meaning of life. Yes, food keeps you alive. Yes, shelter protects us. But meaning, although it seems less tangible, without it, you feel lost, confused, anxious, and depressed. So this is why the biology of belief, meaning, the biology of meaning is way more than something philosophical. It means way more to you than what you think. And a lot of us have lost our desire, lost our meaning, lost our purpose. So you think that because you came from the crip neighborhood, that you're supposed to be one. Did you all I know? Yes, that's correct. It's all you know, which is program your belief that that's what you're supposed to do. Man, I got taught that if they step on the Air Force One, but I'm gonna bust them. That's all you know. So you believe that if somebody steps on your white shoes, that you're supposed to take them out. If somebody calls you something, and you look at this bully culture, right? So bullies is ended up dead now in elementary school. Now you better stop trying to be a bully, because the little coward gonna come with the pistol. Okay? Cowards is coming back killing bullies now. Now they ain't even meet me at 3 o'clock no more. So why? Because the belief system is that you're trying to be God. I could take your life. And if you get up here with this consciousness, you lose. See, when you with God, then you're not trying to be God. That was the whole story of Adam and Eve, right? Remember that Adam and Eve weren't real people, but they were real principles. Adam represented what? The body. Eve represented the mind. And the snake represented thought, the belief. So the little serpent, the little belief system, the little serpent, the little thoughts, these little thoughts that come into your mind, got the mind, and then the body gonna follow. Adam didn't have a chance. when the mind got that thought, Adam didn't have a chance. Body don't have a chance. When you start thinking about Burger King, Chick-fil-A ain't got a chance. You're gonna end up in Burger King's drive-thru. When you start thinking about Chick-fil-A, Popeyes ain't got a chance. You will end up in Chick-fil-A drive-thru. When the thoughts, okay? And so it's how we view ourselves and how we see ourselves. And what we're trying to do is up the value. When we up your value, then you don't devalue. A devalued person is a person that get caught up in a lot of these self-harm mechanisms. Okay? A devalued human being oftentimes get himself caught up in self-harm mechanism. And if they hurt themselves, then you damn sure know they'll hurt you. If a woman has high blood pressure, 9 times out of 10, the man will get it. And you be like, how I got it? If she don't care nothing about her high blood pressure, she gonna be fixing food that's gonna cause you high blood pressure. And she don't care nothing about her high blood pressure. She gonna fix the children's food that eventually can cause them high blood pressure. If she don't care nothing about telling the truth, then she don't care nothing about you telling the truth. If she don't care nothing about her weight, she don't care nothing about your weight. If she don't care nothing about herself like that, she gonna let you pass with yourself like that. Very seldom if people gonna love you more than they love themselves. They'll love you the exact same way. If she don't care nothing about you going out and being with other women, you better not care nothing about her being with other men. It's the belief system. Okay? So that's what we got to be able to understand, that slowly starts to have this physiological effect on our bodies. And then now you're running down the body. Okay? And when you see about meaning and you get this owner's manual and you get your blueprint and you see how connected you are to nature, you say, dang, man, nature do have me in the book of life. Like, God does know me. Man, did y'all just hear that? That should up your value right there. You trying to get to know God, but what if I'm trying not to. You trying to get to know God, but what if it'll change your whole dynamic to know that God knows you? That literally the manufacturer knows you. You might have problems with your parents knowing you. You might got problems with your coworkers knowing you. But to know that God knows me. You so busy trying to get to know God, but what if we can change your whole life by you understanding that God knows you? Do you think that'll up your value? Somebody let me know in the chat. To know that God knows you, do you think that'll up your value? Or to know that you know God, you think you somebody because you know God? Which one it is? It'll up my value to know that God knows me. That takes pressure off of me having to get to know him. He know me. And when you know me, then you know me. But to be known, I must be somebody. To be known. And when you get this meaning back, and then you see that purpose come back, then now you got more stable cortisol rhythms. Blood pressure go away. When you get back to human being up here instead of human doing, that's going to balance your cortisol levels because now you're back in rhythm. It's going to improve your immune function. Now, if you do get a cold or a flu, it's going to go away. Allergies, autoimmune issues, they start to erode away biologically without nobody popping nothing, drinking no tea, popping no pills. You don't got to do nothing when you understand this concept we're giving you. You have greater psychological flexibility. That means that you can do more with your thought life. That's what meaning does. Give you that stress resilience of life. Now you ain't all down here thinking that you're not enough no more. Meaning also will start to prolong the life. It'll start to now play a role in longevity. When you have that sense of purpose, that starts to lower that mortality risk that we're talking about, violence against one another. When you got meaning and purpose, now you know I'm not finna shoot you because I know you got meaning and purpose, and I ain't finna end up in jail because I know I got meaning and purpose. Because you know, every time you shoot the gun, you kill two people, you kill two birds with one stone. But if I get meaning and purpose back in the community of humanity, then now I value your life, and I damn sure don't want to get locked up. I value my own life. That lowers mortality risk, that lowers violence. That is also going to help you up with better cardiovascular health. Because now you just ain't gonna put no anything in the body. Now that heartbreak ain't there. Heartbreak is also a thing for cardiovascular health. But when meaning and purpose is there, you realize that even if I got friends, if I got relationships with opposite sex, the meaning and purpose keeps, I ain't gonna never really experience heartbreak. If I don't experience heartache and heartbreak, and if I'm not doing violence, then now people are living longer, my heart is stronger. I ain't really depressed no more. And I'm not saying that purpose alone can prevent disease, but it can influence your behavior to start to protect your own health, to be more preventative. When you start maintaining relationships, when you start staying physically active, when you start engaging with your community, man, you can't tell me that ain't gonna help you. You can't tell me that ain't gonna help you. We evolved as always highly social organisms, man. We're always meant to be social with each other. That's why we have these family dynamics and these family roles, this community participation, shared values and traditions with each other. That's why we have these spiritual practices that tell us to come fellowship with one another. Can you explain heartbreak? Yeah, I just explained it. I just explained heartbreak to you. It was just real simple, real easy. Okay? I just explained it to you. And I told you that it can also be a part of the cardiovascular health. A broken heart, heartache. Okay? Nothing but depression and anxiety. Okay? That's what a heartbreak gonna do to you. Depression and anxiety. And both of those can have either some psychological issues with depression and anxiety too, or it can have some high blood pressure issues, increase your heart rate. Okay. But we know what heartbreak is, man. So it ain't no need to explain that. When your wants, needs, and desires are not met, especially in relationship, you can have a heartbreak. If somebody, your loved ones, or something happens to your loved ones, you can start experiencing grief and depression. This is love, right? So most of the time when something has happened to our loved ones, right, no matter what it is, divorce, death, whatever you want to call it, that gives you a broken heart. That's called sadness, depression. Okay? Death, divorce, this tends to do it. Okay, amongst other stuff. Okay? Is this for me? I don't know. Is it for you? Humans are out here trying to survive, but we need direction, which you get in your owner's manual. We need contribution. We need connection. Okay? We need it. I don't know what you TikTok trying to do right there, but we're out here trying to survive, man. But we need direction, we need contribution, and we need connection. And therefore, we got to learn how to be able to provide that meaning and that purpose. And that's what we're attempting to do here. We're offering you guys that opportunity with your owner's manual. Okay. And whether we do this through faith, whether we do this through service, creativity, whether we do this through relationships, purpose, meaning, understanding the biology of belief is one of the most important factors to shaping your long-term wellness, okay? Y'all need to understand that. Come on, TikTok, man. Get this thing off my screen, man. So we need to understand that. Any questions thus far? Any questions thus far? We got about another hour, looks like, with you guys. So if you guys got questions, we can take them before we move on. Okay? We can take them before we move on. Man, what TikTok trying to do, bro? They tripping. You know, when you in this little space right here, they're always gonna try to do something. All right. Any other questions? So it's important to know where you are. It's important to understand how this stuff can affect your health. Okay. The blueprint you get the blueprint, you get the material, right? You can't start asking the body to repair and to rejuvenate and to detox and to do all these things without the proper material and without the proper blueprint. There's no person building a building or building a house without the blueprint. And then the blueprint would then give you the understanding of what material you need to do the task. So if you're needing to detox your body, stop just going out getting detox. You need a parasite cleanse. Stop just going out getting parasite cleanse. Get the blueprint. We also have something called the healer's package. The healer's package, you're going to get the detox, you're going to get your owner's manual, and you're going to get your natal blend, right? You're going to get the herbs from your owner's manual. That right there is the material for detoxing. You see what we did just then? So we gave you the blueprint, which is your owner's manual. We gave you a detox, but we also gave you the material. That's the healer's package. The panacea blend is going to be a collage of all the herbs that we use, which is going to be about 12 out of the 13 herbs that we use. And that's going to help you when you're trying to just prevent. If you're just looking for, I just want something I can take every day, nutrition. I don't really want you to take nothing every day. But if you're looking for something like that, you want to be preventative, the panacea blend. So yes, I needed been paralyzed since 2020. Yeah, so you need the material, right? You need the material for your nervous system. Nikita, you need the material. You can't just go in there asking for it to do no anything. You need the material for that. And then once your body got the material, it'll start to help repair over time. It may take a little time, but it'll start help repair. You start feeling a little better. Maybe you start getting a little twinkling in your toes. Maybe you'll start, and then you just continue to keep going. Continue to keep going. The only way you won't be able to regenerate is if you don't have the organ. If y'all got y'all gallbladder taken out, there's no way to rebuild a new gallbladder because the old one is gone. If your kidneys is gone, they're gone. If your tonsils is gone, they're gone. When you remove the organ, there's nothing we can do. But if you still have the organ in there and it's still connected to the brain, I know sometimes when you're paralyzed, the brain is already shut off that way. That's why you got to go back into that neural pathway and see, can we get it back online? Because once the brain takes the body organ offline, then it don't get no food. It don't get no material. It don't matter how much you eat and what you drink. Once that organ go offline in the brain, then supplies don't go to that organ as well. Y'all understand that? Once your brain perceives that that eye don't work, that's when it starts to change color. That's when it starts to look all white. That's when because the nerves are not sending signals. It's offline on the brain. When it's offline on the brain, there is no food supply coming. And when there's no food supply, when there's no material, it won't do the task. So you got to be cognizant of that as well. Okay? You got to be cognizant of that as well. Trying to redirect my life. What are steps to identify your inner self? Like certain beliefs. Yeah. So again, KD, that's what we were just talking about here. You have to start to solidify these needs, wants, and desires, right? I just spoke earlier and told you this right here. This is you trying to be the God of your life. And that's perfectly cool at some points. But what if I told you that your wants, needs, and desires are already met if you change your belief system? If you change how you consciously view life, then you'll see that there's no real reason for you to be down here working yourself to death, basically. So it's all about those things. When you're trying to redirect your life, you got to try to redirect how you view this experience. You see what I'm saying? So now you say, well, what is it that I need? Ask me that. You can ask me that right now. You guys keep tapping. I'm going to keep talking. Watch this, you guys. Watch this. What is it that you need? Somebody ask me that. What is it that I need? Right. You need you, KD. You are the most important thing necessary, not anything outside of you. You need you, KK. You are the most important necessity. It is you. Now, the next question is, what is it that I want? You got to want you. You got to want you more than you want anything else. And a lot of times when you're scrolling, you ever been on a job with people that be like, they always can do better than that. Or, I could have did that better than them. They always got a problem with the manager. They always got a problem with the governor. They always got a problem with the mayor, the police officer. The people that's scrolling on TikTok right now, they got a problem with me because they are the ones that's, when you're always unsatisfied with people, then it is you that needs to be in that position. So I realized a long time ago, I can't work for folk because I got a problem with folk leadership. So I just got to be the leader. I can't change McDonald's, but I can open up my own burger joint. I can't change Walmart, but I can open up my own clothing store. I can't change these folks at Popeyes, but I can open up my own chicken shack. So what is it that you want? It should be you. What is it that you desire? You got to be enough. And when you change these wants, needs, and desires to understanding that you don't lack anything because you are everything. You are everything that you need, want, and desire. Now you start to erode that programming. You got every tool that you need on you. Look at me. I don't do nothing but do what I do. I just use me. All I do is sit on here, talk, do whatever. I live in South Africa. You see what I'm saying? You know, I'm here right now, but I live in South Africa, you guys. So, but what am I doing? Nothing. I'm using the instrumentation I got. Me, I'm using me as an instrument, not the forklift as the instrument, not the spatula as the instrument, not the computer as the instrument, not the this as the instrument, but I'm using me, what I got on me, as an instrument to make a living. And that's why we try to teach you about the owner's manual so that you can see your greatest assets. They're within you, they're not exterior. If you go through the woods right now and you get cut up on your arms with a sticker bride, if you never invented band-aids, alcohol, or anything, you would eventually still heal those wounds. So you already come equipped with certain things. You just got to see yourself. The value must go up. Okay, Katie? Hopefully I answered that question. Anybody else? Man, I was just about to say kids, functioning family. Thank you. Nah, man, it's you. I know we look at that exterior stuff and see now the thing is that when that stuff outside of you, if it's not adequate enough for you, you feel like you failed, you feel overwhelmed, you don't, because you think a wife completes you, or children completes you, and jobs complete you. No, you complete you. You complete you. And so we'll rather settle out of court for paying bills instead of learning the skill of how to see this experience. The skill of how to see this experience. Again, going back to Adam and Eve in the garden, they lost the skill to see because they got tantalized with, you can be your own God. Ain't that what he told them? That was the whole tantalizing thing. You can be your own God. That's the knowledge of good and evil. You can be your own God. Instead of him managing good and evil or nature managing good and evil, you can do it. Now, when you go down here and you say, well, I want that, now you got to watch out for the lions, the tigers, and bears. But when you was up here, you was around them lion, tigers, and bears, and they wasn't eating you, and you wasn't eating them. So again, we're so busy looking out of these eyes, trying to be our own God. I'm trying to teach you how to look inwardly with your pineal, your third eye, and see that you're already, all you need to do is be with God. You ain't got to try to be it. It'll run you down. It'll kill you. Although Adam and Eve were their own gods, they died. That was the thing. You can't live longer no more when you're trying to be your own God, because it's too much pressure. Too much pressure keeps the sympathetic nervous system running. The body will wear down. You get old. But if you want to get back rejuvenated, if you want to live forever, you want to be in everlasting consciousness, then all we got to do is transition you to understand that you don't need to be God. That's too much on you. You just need to be with him. And that's not going somewhere in death. That's going somewhere in life. You only got high blood pressure. You only got diabetes. You only got this stuff because you are doing this to yourself. Unless it's a genetic predisposition, you're running down yourself. What say you? Anybody else? So when Jesus said, do you know that ye are gods? How do we interpret that? Well, you got to understand those are principles. Again, those are not people. Those are principles. But at the end of the day, look at who he was talking to. Your lower self. He was talking to your lower self, because in that same sentence, or in the same structure of what he was talking about, he also was talking about that you can't go to the Father except through the what? The Son. Okay? The Son. So how can you be a God and you got to go through a Son? So you got to look at the principles of this stuff. You got to look at the principles. And how can you, and let me ask you this, how can you be a God and you die? What God died? What God died? You know you ain't. Come on, man. Everybody come on here. They keep talking about this gods and goddess thing. Until you get eternity, you're not there yet. Okay? You're not there yet. So we got to be able to go back into this perspective, this natural perspective. Again, your body can heal itself, but it's gonna have to do it from up here, not down here. Your body can heal itself, but it's got to come from up here. If you come from an impoverished society where your mama wasn't rich, your daddy wasn't rich, or none of that, then you know that it's got to come from up here. That idea has to come from the brain. That idea, that financial idea to get you out of that impoverished situation got to come from here. It can't come from here. It's got to come from here. You got to come up with that idea that's going to change your life and your parents' life. How do people get their parents rich for the most of it? They use their instrument, their body. The running back, the fullback, the wide receiver, the shooting guard, the point guard. What are they using? They instrument. And I keep trying to show y'all this. You got to use you to break through this thing. Ain't nothing else going to do it. You can't use me for your problems. You got to use you for your problems. You are your own problem solver. Most people who strike it rich, who get wealthy, is because they're using themselves. They are the hottest commodity. Okay? Anybody else? I hope I'm showing y'all something right now, man. Use yourself. There is something about you that is so special, and you're wasting it on somebody else's baby. You go into Walmart when you could be rivaling Walmart. You know Walmart's so good that you know what Walmart getting all their inventory from. You can rival Walmart. But you use your talents for somebody else's baby. You taking care of somebody else's baby. Yes, know thyself. That's why the owner's manual and the blueprint is that health assessment that allows us to know ourselves fully. And now you start to tap into your gifts. You start to tap into your thing. And again, the only reason you ain't already where you need to be is because you just lack this information. But once you get it in the palm of your hands and you start to really dissect yourself, you start to really come out of the maze, right? Stop going so deep in. Stop being so microscopic. Stop picking at yourself that way. Come out, zoom out a little bit. When you zoom out, then you get this 360-degree angle, and you like, man, dang. Boy, that junk that should have been came out, man. Here it is. I done lost a rib and kidneys and everything. And you know what I'm saying? Boy, if I had known this, yes, because you get so microscopic. You get so reductionist in your belief and understanding. You start picking at yourself. Then you start getting mad at yourself, mad at everybody else, mad at your parents, mad at your uncles and cousins, and mad at your co-workers, mad at your presidents, because you're so microscopic and you're so reductionist, and you feel like that one thing is the problem. And then you got people who are facilitating that problem in you by also giving you reductionist solutions. Well, just take berberine and just take chromium and just take. You don't got to do that. You take whole foods. That's coming back out. You zoom back out. And it ain't just grape juice, it's the whole grape. You need the fiber on this grape. You need the skin on the grape. You need the skin on the muscadine. You need the skin on the strawberry. You need the skin. You need the whole food. You need the skin on your rice. Well, what rice got skin on it? Red rice, wild rice, quinoa, millet, amaranth, buckwheat. You need to come back out, zoom out, so that you can stop complaining about your spouse and stop complaining about your children and stop complaining about your coworker and stop complaining about your church. Stop complaining. Pull out. Zoom out and see it from a macroscopic way, and then you'll be able to have a better understanding of why folk do what they do, including yourself. Okay? Anybody got any other questions? What can I purchase the manual on the you just go to the website, man, and type in manual and go ahead and get yours. What do you think of NMNAD? Again, that is inorganic professional tree climber. I think that's what you're talking about, right? That's an inorganic thing. Facts. I earned millions creating products I made. Thanks for helping me to remember. There you go, Madam Toya. You are the prize. You are the gift. And you got to birth that baby in you. And what we're trying to do is bring all of you guys' ideas about yourself in whatever situation you're in to full term. You know how many people that I done met in my lifetime that wished and woulda, coulda? Boy, I wanted to do that, boy. And you know how many people I tell I'm in Africa, boy, I always wanted to go. What's stopping you from going? Next Friday, you're going to make about $1,000. You could be going to Africa. But you know why? Because you want to keep making that $1,000. See, you want to keep making that $1,000. But you can't never say that you ain't. Next week, when you get paid Friday, you would have made enough money to go to Africa. At some part, you would have made enough money to escape, but you can't. Yes, sir. Next week, when you get paid, you would have made enough money to escape the things that's causing you the problem. But you're trapped in the problem itself. Come on, somebody. Even if you're working at Burger King, McDonald's, in the end of the month, you would have made enough money to escape. But you're trapped. And if you can visualize the loop you in, you'll realize it's all about your belief. Your beliefs are hurting you. Today, you can fix food that will heal you. But because it's Sunday and you used to pig feed and butterbean, every day you're getting this opportunity to escape. But you're trapped in your beliefs. What say you guys? Anybody else? You guys keep tapping. I'm going to keep talking. We almost out of here, you guys. We got about, looks like we got, 37 more minutes. And we're already at 100K or close to it. If you guys got questions or concerns, you let me know. Okay? If you're looking for your owner's manual or your blueprint, you let me know. The owner's manual is the blueprint. But it's two products, okay, that's on there. One is called the Foundational Blueprint Bundle. That's where you get your owner's manual and the herbs. The owner's manual is just the blueprint by itself. If you're looking to detox and you want your owner's manual and you want your material herbs, that's called the healer's package. Okay. All right. Anybody else? Never start laughing. Yeah, I'm just being real with you. I know y'all like them pig feet and butterbean. Like them pig feet and butterbean. Butterbean, good for your heart. The more you eat. Who else on here? If you're interested in anything that we say, you guys, you can DM us. Are these herbs safe with sickle cell? I mean, so you know, a sickly cell, it needs material. So when you get your blueprint, you get the material. That answers your question right there, right? If you have sickly cells, I know you like to call it that, but if you look at that word, you say you got sickly cells. They need material. You get your blueprint, you get the owner's manual and the material. That should answer your question, okay? How much for the healer's package? Nikita, you go in there and put in healer's package, it'll tell you. So don't give me the line because I done changed the prices, so I forgot by now. But nothing that you can't afford, okay? We don't do all this $1,000 products and $500 products. We don't do all that type of stuff. Okay, I don't even have a product for $200. There's nothing. Do I? I doubt it. I doubt it. Okay. So we believe in making this stuff accessible, effective, and affordable for us all. Okay. Katie said, "Got you. Thank you." Yes, sir. No problem. No problem. Yeah, no problem, man. See, when you get your owner's manual, KD, when you get that blueprint, it's gonna probably already show you the reason or the rudimentary reason why you could be suffering from some of these things, right? Without you telling me, you know what I'm saying? That's why I don't really like for y'all to tell me. Just if you're gonna do it, just do it and give us your birthday. Okay. I don't like nobody to tell me what the doctor said because we don't deal with doctors' diagnoses. Okay. I'm not a doctor to deal with a doctor's diagnosis. I'm a holistic practitioner to deal with nature's assessments. So we have a health assessment of ourselves because, again, if the doctor knew what it is, then why he can't cure it? If the doctor can put a name to it, then it should be something for it. You see? So I don't go by what they call it because it's wrong. But you'll start getting tendencies that can start to make your cells be sickly. Uh-huh. Yeah, you can start getting tendencies that will make your cells be sickly. I don't know what you're saying right there. Kernawata, Luchman. You gotta speak English. Okay. Anybody else before we get up out of here? Okay, we got about 10,000 more to reach 100,000. You guys, we thank you all for your thumb warriorship. We thank you also for your viewership and your support. Okay. What causes eczema outbreaks on face? Internal stuff. Okay. Lymphatic system. If you're dealing with eczema, that means that you got a clogged up lymphatic system that's using your skin to get it out. Okay, Tiffany Washington. And so if you have a lymphatic system issue, if you got a skin issue, that's going to come down here into the water element, which means that you must be having some emotional things going on. Okay, your diseases will tell on you, Tiffany. Okay, so if there's anybody dealing with lymphatic and fluid, that's the water element. That means emotions. Okay, watching your emotions. When you get out of whack emotionally, your feelings, when they start to disturb you internally, you start to move them waters or you start to clog them waters up, and then they're going to use the skin to come out now. That's why we tell you about the lymphatic cleanse, Tiffany Washington. So if you want to get a 21-day lymphatic cleanse, that's going to help expel that stuff. So you're going to cough up the mucus, you're going to sweat out the mucus, you're going to urinate and defecate out the mucus. Okay, you put you on a 21-day diet, and then you take those lymphatic herbs, and they can help you flush the system. Okay, you can go to the website, type in detox. Okay, still waters inside. Yes, the stagnated lymphatic fluid. Diseases will tell on you, straight facts. I'm trying to tell you. How about autism causes? The cause of autism from birth, you talking about from birth, BK? If it's from birth, it's the parents. Okay, if it just comes on, yeah, if it's from birth, it was the parents. Okay, and so autism is something dealing with the nervous system. So when the baby was in the body, then that parent, whether the other parent caused it or not, was having some mental health issues. Okay, BK 5507, the parents were having mental health issues. So the baby came out mimicking those types of things. Ear ringing, watch your blood pressure, SDB Faith. Okay, SDB Faith, Ear ringing. Watch your blood pressure. Okay, you got to watch your blood pressure. So if you're looking at ear ringing, and if it's conducive to blood pressure, it could also be about oxygen flow, iron, right? So that's going to be what? The waters. If it's blood, it's the waters, right? So watch your emotions as well. SDB faith, your emotions. Okay, when your feelings get out of whack, all right? You want to watch that stuff. But the biggest thing for tinnitus is going to be a herb called ginkgo biloba. Okay, ginkgo biloba. Spider veins is the same thing. It's fluid. Okay, now you're talking about you back at lymphatic fluid. All right, so emotions. Lotus love. Emotions. All right. SDB Faith said thank you. Yes, 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 yes. Yes. So people, if you take your spouses, your girlfriends through mental health stuff, that can start to affect the brain development, not only in her, but also in your babies. When your babies are coming out with stuff, you got to ask yourself what kind of relationship you and her were having. If she was having mental breakdowns, that could go back to now the nutrients wasn't getting to the baby when it comes to that type of situation. If you're dealing with her emotionally, right, that can come back to haunt you sometimes in the baby. This ain't always got to be true, but diseases will tell on you. Okay, diseases will tell on you. All right. Also, she could been having some constipation issues, right? Some gut issues. Gut issues also can attribute to brain issues as well. Okay. And most of the time it's constipation. Constipation is 9 times out of 10 what's going on in autism, what's going on in autoimmune issues. Is most of the time you're going to see that change in your digestive system. Okay. So if she was dealing with heavy constipation during the child rearing, that could also result into the brain issues. Right? Anything else, your diseases will tell on you. Okay. So if you don't want to be told on, don't put them up here. Get your owner's manual for that little funky measly $50. You get 7 to 10 pages of information. Okay, so it's not like we slacking on nothing just because it's $50. With your blueprint, you get the owner's manual and the herbs. Okay. Anybody else? If you just want to be told on today, then come on with it. While we got time. Thank you for the 100K likes, you guys. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. Now we're getting the algorithm to do what it needs to do. Okay. If you guys missed this, you can go to the YouTube, subscribe, and then you can just check out the video, man. Check out the video. Biology of Belief. All right. I have my owner's manual. Do I get the herbs from you as well? Yeah. If you want the herbs, free bird, yeah, you get the herbs from me as well. We put it all together. We go back to your owner's manual, put all them herbs together for you, and you get them. Okay. Anybody else? You can't repair yourself, you guys. Okay. Y'all can do this, man. I know y'all can do this. You can repair yourself. I know you can. You can repair your life. I know it may seem like, man, I ain't got no money, man. This dude talking about this. If you don't have any money, what is the most valuable thing that you have next? Anybody. If you don't have any money, what is the most valuable thing that you have next? I want y'all to get this because you got to get this, okay? Somebody says, thank you, Jared. Jared been watching me long enough. That's one of my star students right there. Jared Collins, y'all go follow him. You have time. Okay, time. You got time. If you don't have no money, then you have time. And time can be spent. Just time can do, you can do the same thing with time that you can do with money. Okay. The same thing with time that you can do with money. There's 4 things you can do with money that you could do with time. You can waste time, just like you can waste money. You can spend time, just like you can spend money. You can earn time, just like you can earn money. Okay. And you can save time, just like you can save money. Okay? So if you manage your time properly, if you're a good steward over your time, even if you don't have no money, if you're doing the right thing with the time, it'll result into your wages. You can waste it, you can spend it, you can earn it, and you can save it. If you want to save yourself some time, start doing the research. Somebody said, message. Yes, that's it. Thank you. Thank you, free bird. That's it. Watch what you're doing with your time. A lot of you guys are just wasting time. Well, if I gave you some money, you don't waste it. A lot of you guys are just exasperating your time, right? You don't know how to save it. Well, how do I save time? By doing what you need to be doing. Study to show thyself approved. Way before I got the money, I had the time. And in my time, I bought 200 herbs and studied them like the back of my hand so that I could be able to be a great asset, a great pillar to the community in which I served. 200 herbs and studied them like the back of my hand so that when you walked into my herb shop, I knew all 200 of those herbs. You can ask me about any one of my products. I wouldn't know. But guess how long that took me? Time. Guess how long that took me? Time, shawty. It took time to learn 200 herbs. I had a job, I had children, I was married and everything else. And you just have to just know that it's going to take some time. But I was a good steward over the time. Every time I got off of work, I went downstairs, did what I needed to do, studied to show thyself approved. So the reason I know this stuff is because I utilize the time wisely. Therefore, nature can start to reciprocate. Show me some reciprocity. Okay, he managing his time well. You can only be out here like this if you are very good at stuff. If you are expert at something, you can make a way. But if you're trying to half-ass it with your information, it's going to be an uphill battle. Experts make the bread. So you spend the time in being an expert even when you ain't got no money. And guess what? That expertise, if you study how to really make lemonade, if you spend time in really learning how to make the best juices, I got a juice remedy right now that can rival anybody's. I haven't even been able to do it. But that juice cleanse will detox you, it'll liver cleanse, it'll kidney cleanse, it'll do all the stuff that we've been looking for. And I got that from a woman who lived to be 100+ years old. That was a naturopathic doctor that don't nobody know about. So the recipe just died with her. You a lie. Mama. You a lie. That recipe ain't gonna die with you. We're gonna keep on going. But I ain't even made it yet. How did I even run into that person? Some things I've researched, some things have searched me out. Some stuff I done found, and some stuff found me. Why? Because I put in the time. Sometimes putting in time just means that you out here in nature, and then the apple, the gods must be crazy. You know what I'm saying? The boom, it just hit you in the head. You know what I'm saying? What was that? The idea that you out here, you know what I'm saying? You need the idea that you need that you can't come up with yourself. Sometimes it'll find you. You just got to be in the right place at the right time. And that's what this owner's manual, this blueprint is trying to show you, how to be at the right place at the right time so you can stop missing these opportunities. You can't get everything yourself down here doing. Sometimes you just go out there and just be. And guess what? Boop, the idea just, it'll find you. It'll find you. You see that? Look at what we're doing here. Who do this? Who y'all know do this? As much researching as I done did, I ain't never seen nobody doing this for health and be on point. How did I get this? It found me. Because you was doing what you're supposed to do with your time. Way before I had money, I had the time. And I sacrificed the time. I spent the time. I earned the time. But I didn't waste no time. And then now, I'm retired. I retired at 40 years old. Without being on a government job. Without doing 20 years on a job. I'm a living proof that what I'm teaching you, it works. I healed myself from ulcerative colitis. You can't heal from an autoimmune disease. You a lie. I got my healer's badge from Boy Scout. We're trying to get you yours. Okay? We're trying to get you yours. So I'm telling you that it can happen for you because it's happening for me. It's happened to me, and it can happen to you. I'm old as hell. I just got a newborn baby. Why am I having babies past 45? Who do that? Y'all over there talking about, I don't want no baby past. I'm finna have some more. Shit. Huh? Finna have some more. I got a 3-year-old. I got a 3-week-old. We living, man. On our own merits, on our own, using me as an instrument. I'm getting better as I age. I'm getting youthful. I'm getting stuff that didn't happen to me in my youth. Well, I'm glad it didn't do it then because I wasn't ready here mentally. So I said, make time for that juice. I ain't got time for it. I'm finna go. But I will eventually make time for where I'm going. Maybe they'll drink a juice. But yeah, man, that woman sat there and died with that juice, man. That's crazy. And then don't nobody know her. Lived to be a Hondan as a naturopathic doctor, black woman from Florida, from Pensacola, Florida. Don't nobody know her. That's crazy. So how did I bump into her in this whole world wide web? How she go across my feed? Because I'm eating. You're only gonna get something come across your feed if you eating. I was eating the information up, and again, some stuff found me. And that's how we're able to end up to these places, man. But I always like dealing with people like that. People that I deal with is Emma Dupree. There's a guy by the name of Don Eligio from Belize. He's a legend. Lived 100 and some years old. Emma Dupree lived 98. Dr. Marty Scott lived to 100. These are the folks I'm not looking at. No, I mean, look, I don't got no problem with some of these other herbalists and their books. But these jokers died in 70 years old. Dr. Layla Africa, rest in peace, man. He died at 70. Dr. Paul Goss, rest in peace, in his 70s. Dr. Xavier, rest in peace, in the 80s. I need somebody that done hit that Hondan or more. And that's these people that you won't hear about unless you do your research. Okay? You gotta do your research. It's not about the people who are famous. It's about the people who have been doing this. There's some folks that's been doing this that didn't get the recognition. We want to give them the recognition by continuing to wear their cloak. That's why I push the narrative of the 120-year aspect. You want to model what it is that you believe in. My mom is 98. There you go. She's a model. You want to model what it is that you're doing. See, these folks got old fuel, old gas in them. That old gas is better than the new gas. Okay? So, but we all on this new gas. My grandmama is finna be 90 in August. Okay? But she got that old gas in her. She ain't got none of that Trump gas, and there ain't none of that new. This ain't the same 87 as it was back in the day. And see, so this old cheap gas today, this old fast gas. She got that old gas in her that's gonna keep on pushing her as far as she can go. So we have to learn these old things, and the fuel is the knowledge. Our people shall perish due to the lack of knowledge, and so you don't have enough gas to get you to this 100-year because you don't have enough knowledge about the body and about what it is that you need to be doing. I'm trying to be 199 and a half, won't do. There it is. There it is. Trying to be 100 because 99 and a half won't do. Yeah, I know that song. I'm from the country now. I'm from old school. My grandmother was 101. My mother 95 and a half. Yes, sir. That's that old gas, Teresa. Got that old gas and old fuel. But if you think about those people that you're naming, knowledge is the fuel. If you think about these folks that you're naming, they are very knowledgeable. That knowledge carried them to the centurion. You see that? Converting that new gas to old gas takes some work. Yeah, because see, the thing about it is you can't put new wine in an old bottle. See, and you are an old bottle. You are human beings are ancient beings living in this modern environment. So you can't put new wine in an old bottle. If y'all didn't know that, y'all ain't never heard that saying before? You can't put new wine in an old bottle. You ain't gonna be able to do it. So that means that if you got this old bottle that's been sitting up here with this old wine and you drink all of that and you try to put new wine in that old bottle, it ain't gonna work. So what it is that you are an ancient wine bottle. And you're gonna use up all your little wine that you got. That's all your little gifts and talents, all your little strength. You use that all up. And guess what you try to go do? I'm gonna keep the bottle and pour new knowledge and new stuff, this, that, and the third in there, and you're gonna expand and bust the bottle. You see what we're saying? So now what you got to understand is how to hold on to the wine. Don't drink up all your pace yourself, okay? Because once it's over, we got to throw the bottle away. Okay? That means pace yourself. Stop trying to use it all up. Stop trying to ride you till the wheels fall off. Okay? Pace yourself. Keep your wine in your bottle. Because once it's over with, we got to throw away everything. Can't put no newness back in there. So you keep that ancient understanding. You keep that ancient understanding in you, and you pace yourself through this modern environment. You know, like when you're old, you know, sometimes you got to walk carefully. You know, ain't no old folk trying to run. They walk carefully. They walk gingerly. Even though you got new steps, they got a new house in here, they got new car, they got new job, they got new everything. But grandmama still pace herself in this new environment. You see? She know you don't want to remodel the house, but she still gonna pace herself through this thing. Might even get an old cane, but I gotta pace myself in this new environment. That's why they're making it to 100. You see that? Any other questions, you guys? Let me get up out of here, man. I ain't gonna hold y'all up on y'all Sunday. I'm up here trying to wash some clothes myself. Anybody got any other questions thus far? Better come on, man. We got about 10 more minutes. We at 100 and look like 10,000 likes, man. We appreciate it. All y'all don't stop tapping though. You might well keep on tapping if I'm gonna keep on talking. Okay. Anybody else before we get up out of here? You guys, I will be back here tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel. If you missed anything, go to YouTube and subscribe and watch the videos. Do you have time for a call today? Freebird, why you want to mess with me on Sunday for? Why you want to mess with me on Sunday? If this is your time, then you have to call. You got to call. But you call me from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, okay? From 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will be available 7 days a week, you guys, all right? With that being said, man, we love all of you guys, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Thank you again for the likes, guys. We thank you for the viewership. Thank you for sharing. We thank you for following. We thank you for being a part of the community. You can heal yourself. You can heal your wealth. You can heal your relationships. Until next time. Peace. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Peace, 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 my people. Peace. Enjoy your Sunday. Peace, peace, peace.